Hello everybody, this is Vincent Grosso and you're watching My Visually Impaired Life. Welcome back to yet another episode on my channel. And today I wanted to talk about games. Now, as you see behind me, I have tons of video games. And if you can't see it, there's two shelves behind me and they're just loaded from top to bottom with PlayStation games. But is that what I'm talking about today? No, it isn't. I'm talking about real games, the ones we grew up as kids with before the video games, and I'm talking about board games and card games. So let's get into it right now. Hello everybody, it's Vincent Grosso here, and like I said in the intro, we're talking about board games and card games. I absolutely love them, and before I had my visual impairment, I played them. We collect them. I'm a huge fan of Clue. I don't know if you guys have ever played Clue, the board game. Now, I own so many different versions. I have Clue since 1930s. That's how many versions of Clue, the board game, I have. I have them like going all the way up from the 1930s to today's era. I've even got Simpsons Clue, which is an awesome version of Clue. It's a must-buy. But yes, I'm a geek, okay? I'm proud of it. And my family are geeks too. So on Fridays, either my best buddy comes over and we play a board game when he comes over, or we just have a family game night on a Friday night and we just dork it out and play Epic Spell Wars or Zombies, just like you see here. So these are card games, but unfortunately, since my visual impairment, I cannot play these anymore. It's just too impossible. I can't read the writing on them, and I can't go showing them to people, you know, that I'm playing against to read them for me. It just doesn't work out. So I can't play these. But when I get the OrcCam, I'll hopefully be able to. Future video right there. So, but why am I showing you those? Because those are just samples of games I wish I could play, but I can't. So I can't submerge myself into board games like I used to. It's very hard for me now. But I've worked around that because I have amazing family and amazing friends. So yes, I get made fun of a lot while we're playing, and sometimes they cheat by telling me the wrong things just to throw me off, but it's a way we play. So for instance, in this episode, I am going to show you the game called Heroes Quest. It's a game where I've been playing with my best friend Adam, my beautiful wife Amy, and my stepson Nathaniel. So we've been playing this every week for the last like 13 weeks. So there's a lot of quests. And we're almost at the end of all the quests. And it's almost upsetting because you just want it to go on, but you know, everything comes to an end. Well, Heroes Quest was from the 1990s. I actually owned this board game since I was a little kid, and the board game is worth a lot of money today, and I have it fully intact. In fact, I own two of them. I bought a second one for extra parts and pieces years back, and so just in case anything ever happened to them, so this game is amazing. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but awesomeness, which Dungeons & Dragons is totally awesome, but Heroes Quest is more simplistic, and it was easier to be played when I was a kid. It's just awesome. So, but anyway, we're not getting into what the game's about. What we're getting into is the fact that this game is not an easy board game to play as a visually impaired. The board is almost impossible to see the squares. It's almost impossible to see my characters because the colors of the characters blend in with the board with my visual impairment. The dice even, they're little tiny white dice with little pictures on them. And there's one side's got a shield, one side's got a skull, and then there's an enemy shield and a hero shield. And it's just really impossible for me to be able to see these. So I have to rely on my friends that are playing with me to tell me what I rolled. But it's okay. In the beginning, it bothered me a lot, but it doesn't now. So I'll roll the dice, and then they'll tell me how many hits or strikes I got or how many defense dice I rolled. Now, there's two movement dice that come with the game, and they're red with gold dots. I can't see that at all. 0. So I tried. I can sit there and look at it, and my friends are like, it's an 8, it's an 8, because I'm staring at it for too long. So they get all freaked out. They're just, we're from the north. Everything's got to be fast here. You know what I mean? So they don't have the patience for me. So I got white dice with black dots in place. Now, it's even hard for me to see white dice with black dots, but however, I can read those a lot quicker than if I was to read the red ones. So what I'm trying to get is black dice with white dots. I know I can read black dice with white dots a lot easier. It's just the way my eyes work, my visual impairment, that just works for me. However, it's not been easy. It hasn't been an easy task for me to find dice like that. I've looked on eBay, Amazon, stuff, but I have found them, but they're not the right size and shape that I've been wanting. However, so I got that factor. So I'll roll the dice, and I have to rely on my friends or my wife or my son to tell me how much I rolled. Sometimes I can read it, sometimes I can't. So sometimes I think a 6 is, a 5, and they're like, no, it's 6. And then or vice versa, or I'll see a 5 and I'll say 5 and then they say, no, it's 6. So I mess up a lot on that because it's just so hard to see with my visual impairment. Now, when movement on my characters in board games, whether it be Sorry or Monopoly even, which Monopoly is a little bit easier, but on Heroes Quest, it's so impossible to see the squares on the table, on the board, that, they put rock walls down. There's furniture that goes in the game. I don't know how to get around the furniture because I don't know what squares I can move. So I just rely on them moving my character for me. So when we're in a room, we have scenarios. So you don't see what's in a room right away. But when you enter the room, you ask the master or the dungeon keeper to open the door, and what he does is he takes the door that's closed and he puts an open door, and you put your guy in one space, and then he puts whatever's in there in the book. It'll show the furniture that needs to be in there and the enemies. So as I enter, there could be a trap, it could be a bookshelf, it could be a torture chamber, it could be an armory, and there could be like 5 bad guys in there, and I don't know where to go. It's a very strategy-driven game because you got other people that are playing with you to back you up, and you got to know where to move specific. So what we do is we work as teams in this board game, and it works out flawless because I can trust them. So you have Zorgon, which is the bad dungeon keeper, and then you have the 4 heroes, but usually we have 3 and one person using 2 heroes. So we can work as a team and I don't have to worry about anybody throwing me under the bus unless they want the treasure that's in the room and they don't want me to get it first. Yeah, they do that. So anyway, we'll go in there and I'll rely on them making the best strategy to do, but not doing this without my consultation. So what they do is they sit there and they explain to me exactly how the room looks. And they tell me how many spaces I have if I move this way, or how many spaces I have if I move that way, or where will I be if I decide to go this way or that way. They make it easy for me. They audio descript the board game for me. These are the best thing your friends can do for you or your loved ones when you're playing a board game. Now, other board games like Monopoly, I have had a lot of hard time because I can't read the Monopoly cache. So, and I was better at colors. However, I'm having color troubles now. So there's certain colors I cannot distinguish, separate the two. However, I could in the beginning. So it was a little bit more simplistic for me. But now it's changed and it's getting a lot harder. I cannot for the life of me play Uno. So if you ever meet me and you want to play a card game, do not ask me to play Uno. It's not happening. So anyway, Monopoly has gotten easier. I can move the squares. However, it's hard for me to see what the other players have on their hands or what properties they're owning, this and that, stuff like that. It's really hard for me. But again, friends and family help you. If they're sincere and they're not trying to cheat you, they will let you know. Because there's certain games where you roll a dice and if you don't notice something, you can get penalized or you just miss out, right? So I don't have to worry about those things because usually they'll say, Dad, I landed on your property. Or, they'll tell me they landed on my property and they owe me money. They could just tell me nothing and chances are I won't even realize it. So But they don't do that, so they make it fun for me. So board games are not as far away as video games are for me per se. So I cannot play video games because I have a hard time looking at screens, and the whole screen is all foggy, and it's too thick to see through it. It's just really impossible for me, so I just don't play video games anymore. However, board games are still there for me, and it might be a little bit different playing the board games today as how I used to play them before, but I adapted and they are fun to me again. So just let you guys know, let me know in the comment section what board games you like to play, and how you do it and how it's worked for you in adapting, but I like them this way. So thank you guys for watching. I don't want to drag this video out for too long, but I really could not wait to make this video. This, in fact, was one of the first videos I wanted to make because I'm so big into board games, and so is my family. Like, my kids get so excited and upset if we don't even play. And my daughter's 3 now, and she's getting to that age where we can start getting her to Candyland and stuff. So, yeah. So, again, leave a comment, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, ring that notification bell, and like I said, you better leave a comment. So this is Vincent Grosso, guys. You guys are awesome. Hope you liked the video. See you next week.